Hi, I'm Emily.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Ella.
Welcome to the VeggieTales Animated Universe, a documentary.
In the beginning, Phil Vischer started VeggieTales from his garage, and there was peace and prosperity. In 1993, the first ever VeggieTales episode, Where is God When I'm Scared, was released. In 1995, VeggieTales was so successful that Disney allowed them to reference them in Rack, Shack, and Benny. There was constant progress and slight changes through the 90s with animation and Larry's voice. For a short time, Big Idea was the biggest animation studio between the East and West Coasts. Esther, the Girl Who Became Queen, released in 2000, was Big Idea's first large project. Unfortunately, in 2000, Big Idea overestimated its budget by 80%, which prompted Phil Vischer to take out a loan from the cell bank that gave the power to kill Bob and Larry. This was the beginning of the trials of the VeggieTales animated universe.
Everything just got worse from there. In 2001, Lyric Studios was bought out by a British company called Hit Entertainment. At the time, Hit Entertainment owned the rights to Bob the Builder. Big Idea did not want to work with Hit Entertainment, so they announced a new deal with Warner Home Film. Hit Entertainment was not pleased, and they sued Big Idea for $15 million, even though there was no written agreement between them. The judge decided to side with Hit Entertainment and ordered Big Idea to pay the $15 million. To summarize, Bob the Builder sued Bob the Tomato. Then Big Idea did something stupid. They went ahead with their plans for their first feature-length film, Jonah, a VeggieTales movie, which was released in 2002. The estimated budget for the film was $15 million, but they ended up spending closer to $30 million. The film was a box office failure and only made $25 million, causing the project to lose $5 million. Although they lost the money, animation was improved. Because of this, Big Idea was forced to declare bankruptcy. In 2003, Classic Media buys Big Idea. They went on to make a deal with NBC Broadcast, which allowed VeggieTales to air on Sunday mornings if references to God and the Bible were removed. Thus began the age of censorship.
In 2008, under new ownership, Big Idea released its second feature-length film, The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. Like Jonah, The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything was a box office failure. The budget for the film was $15 million, and they only earned $13 million at the box office. In 2009, Boomerang buys Classic Media and begins releasing new episodes in 2010. The first episode they released, Pistachio, The Little Boy That Wouldn't, marked the beginning of a new animation style. In 2012, DreamWorks bought Classic Media from Boomerang and granted Netflix the streaming rights, ushering in a new and darker era, Scary Larry.
In 2014, VeggieTales in the House was released on Netflix. In 2015, Noah was released on DVD, marking the transition between classic VeggieTales animation and the Netflix series animation. In 2017, a spin-off to VeggieTales in the House called VeggieTales in the City was released. Neither VeggieTales in the House nor in the City were popular with kids who'd grown up on older versions of the show. The animation was drastically changed from what VeggieTales used to be. The characters were smaller and had color irises. Characters such as QWERTY and Mr. Nezer were removed, as well as letters from the children that VeggieTales had become known for. VeggieTales no longer had clear scripture references and rarely told specific Bible stories. Instead, the Bible was only vaguely referred to alongside moral stories. The songs and plots were also dumbed down and simplified, and there were fewer pop culture references.
Then Trinity Broadcasting showed up. TBN acquired the rights to VeggieTales in 2019 and released two new shows. The VeggieTales Remix, which consists of older episodes hosted by Shama, and The VeggieTales Show, which began airing in 2019. It's a Broadway-style TV show that features all the beloved characters from the 90s. TBN reformed the animation back to the original style, and characters such as Mr. Nezer, who had been removed, were returned to the show. TBN also returned to the show Bob's famous final line, "God made you special and he loves you very much."
So what we have learned today is that VeggieTales has come a long way in both animation and developing storytelling styles. Many of these changes were prompted by the financial diversification and shifts in ownership of Big Ideas Studios. Over the past 3 decades of VeggieTales, the delivery of biblical messages has changed from audience to audience. The directness of biblical truths has been varied. But in the end, VeggieTales has had a tremendous impact on both children and adults, and hopefully will continue to for years to come. And remember, God made you special and he loves you very much. Goodbye!